Hey gang, welcome to a new lesson. Today's lesson is going to be on how to wire in a taillight socket. A lot of people have done this wrong over the years. We're going to do it professionally today. All right, one of the reasons why I say that is because inside your car you could probably use connectors like this. They're called butt connectors. The thing is that would expose the copper wire to the elements because it's going to be basically in a moisture environment where it will suck in moisture and will cause the copper to turn green, which will cause a ton of resistance, which could cause your wires to break or not even get your lights to light up over time. All right, guys, I'm going to show you the proper way how to do it now. These are going to be the three wires we're going to use today. All right, we got a yellow wire, we got a black wire, and a brown wire. So I went to the local Napa store and they actually had new sockets in stock. Brown wire, yellow wire, black wire. They used these sockets for like 20 years. Speaking about years, this is one of the reasons why I want to replace it. This socket here that's on this car is 50 years old and it's got a ton of corrosion inside, a ton of rust, bad connections. You know, sometimes the lights would work, sometimes they wouldn't. So we're going to update it with a brand new socket. And even eventually, I might even, I see that on eBay, and there's companies out there that make LED lights for these 70 Camaros. I'm going to probably wind up doing that, but I figure I'd do a quick little class today. All right, so I've got a pair of wire strippers here. These are, they auto strip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my ground wire first. I'm going to a little cutting blade right there, and then I'm going to expose probably about a ½ inch of wire. And I just squeeze. And it pulls my wire off. I'm going to do the yellow one. And then my brown one. Sorry about the noise. Alright, so that's the new connector. Now we got to look at the old one. Got to do the same thing. And I'm just going to strip them. Expose the new copper. And when I do this, I'm going to check to see if there's any corrosion inside them. Right now it looks like nice bright copper. So when copper turns green, like the Statue of Liberty, causes like resistance, causes electricity not to flow through it, that corrosion, which can cause lights to be dim, not work at all. All right, one of my little tricks for doing this is I use an old cap from like a paint bottle. So let's do my yellow wire first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist these two wires together. Now how this cap comes in handy is that I put splits in it. It's going to hold one wire on one side and hold the other wire on the other side. Because I'm going to wind up soldering these together. So let me get my soldering iron out. Cut myself some thin solder. I'm going to heat up that copper for a while. And I'm going to put a little dab solder in there. I don't know if you guys are able to see that or not, but did it up pretty good. Alright, so those wires are now connected. And now take it out of my cup. Give it a slight tug. Alright, so now they're soldered together, they're stuck together. And the next thing I have to do is I'm going to shrink wrap it so I can have no moisture get in it. Now you can use a lighter, you can use a heat gun. Watch my shrink wrap shrink up. From both sides. And it shrinks up nice and tight. That's basically how you make a nice watertight seal. No water getting in there, got a good connection. Alright, I'll wind up doing the other 3 off camera and then we'll test it. I'm heating up the wire with the soldering gun. Just watching it soak into the copper. Yeah, that one looks good. Take this out and do the next one. All right. Once again, I'll put my shrink wrap over my wire. Okay, the blowtorch has tried to kill me like 3 times, so I'm just going to try to do it safe with just a lighter. Put a little heat to it. Especially on the ends. Now, wish I had my heat gun. The heat gun would do a better job. But it's shrinking pretty tight against it. Now we got a nice weather-tight seal on it. Alright guys, we're going to talk about this socket a little bit. It's got 1 light bulb, but there's actually 2 lights in it. So this would be a parking light and a brake light, or a parking light and turn signal. So let's try to make this operate. So we're going to power up our brown wire. It's going to be like, say, power from your brake switch. And then we have our black wire, which is going to be ground. And if I put my light bulb in, one of the filaments should come on. So right now I got 1 bulb lit, but say that was my parking light, and now I hit my brakes. You should see another bulb come on. Well, maybe not. Maybe this bulb is no good. Alright, so maybe let me try another bulb. There we go. So that bulb there was bad. Because now when I power up, so parking light, then you're driving and you need to hit your brakes. Put your brakes on, they get brighter. Alright, let's see how that looks inside the lens. So once again, I hook up my ground. Hook up my brown wire, which would be my parking light. And then I apply the brakes. Or if I had a blinker, which I would have to hook up a flasher, but now you get the idea how you can have two light bulbs in one bulb.